Now we're going to talk a little bit about why your coping skills or strategies that you've been using suddenly stop working. So maybe you are somebody that, runs 5 miles every morning. That kind of keeps the cobwebs out of your brain, helps you problem solve, figure things out. Maybe you've been meditating, maybe you've been going to the yoga classes. You're doing all the things that everybody encouraged you to do. And we're working moderately well when we're really invested in our coping strategies. They do work. So, what does it mean when your coping skills that were working successfully suddenly don't work anymore? Again, if you're following along with a number of these videos that we've been making recently, we're talking a lot about nervous system capacity. And sometimes when what used to work stop working, we have to look at like what's the buildup. So often we talk about like kind of mental load or like capacity to tolerate stress as a certain level. And when we're managing stress well, or we're not facing any major challenges in our life, things are kind of calm for a little while. That's actually when people often come to therapy. Sometimes when it's too overwhelming, that's not when they come to therapy. They might come when things are feeling a little bit calmer and have the ability to practice the strategies, implement the strategies. But then all of a sudden, life spirals out of control and the nervous system can get overwhelmed really quickly and maxed out. So if we're not being diligent or aware of, kind of that baseline setting, then our coping strategies are probably not going to work as effectively as they did in the beginning. And I think about coping, care, health, wellness. There's so many aspects that contribute to our overall wellness. So I think about things like financial stress. So if I'm in a situation where suddenly I have a lot of big expenses come out of the blue, I didn't anticipate them, I don't have enough money saved in my savings account, I'm feeling really worried and really stressed about making a plan, then maybe my, weekly yoga class is just not going to be enough to kind of resolve the distress that comes from worrying about this particular issue or problem. So when you think about coping, when you think about wellness, we tend to think, especially we as therapists, we tend to think cognitive, we tend to think doing deep breathing, meditation, like kind of taking care of our brain and our cognition. But coping and skills involves our whole body. It involves our physical health, it involves our financial health, it involves our relational health. So sometimes when people are struggling in one area of their life, I'll encourage them to look at other aspects of their life that may be going a little bit better, just to sort of understand that we can be struggling in one area, but it doesn't mean we're struggling in all areas. So thinking about your coping skills kind of across all of your aspects of health and wellness might be something to consider when it just feels like the plan isn't working as well as it used to. And the other point to remember is that coping is an ongoing life skill that we have to implement. So even if you've gone through a really major life event, gone through something hard, did the work to stabilize, feeling a little bit better, coping is lifelong. We don't heal and then we're done and never have to return or revisit what we're doing to take care of ourselves. So, again, if this is something that is, you're recognizing in yourself, like I do, and I say this to my clients sometimes too, like you're doing all the right things. We just might need to tweak or look at what else is happening in your life or other ways that we can wrap around care for you. So, if your skills aren't working anymore, it doesn't mean that they're not good skills. It just means right now we might need to figure out what's going to work best for you in this moment and for the future.